So there is something strange I do want to share with you, and I've never encountered this here before. In all my time coming here in 7 years, that's never happened. Well, I wasn't quite expecting to see it like this in here. For the last 7 years, I've been documenting this sad and decaying mausoleum. But for the first time ever today, I'm going to do something here I've never done before. On top of that, there's actually some good news, a small piece of good news I can share with you. So I invite you to come along with me for our 2024 update on the abandoned Good Shepherd Mausoleum. We are here in the middle of October 2024 documenting this place. And like usual, we are going to start off with the office area and building, just to give you a quick update on that. We'll then move to the exterior of the mausoleum, and finally we'll go on the inside. We're going to be doing something in there that I've never done before, but today we're going to change that. So there is something strange I do want to share with you, and I've never encountered this here before. When I came here, I walked past the office building to come over to the mausoleum to do my intro. Well, as I was passing by the building here, I heard some moaning from the inside more than once, like a distressed moaning, like someone was in pain or discomfort. I truly don't hope we find someone in there, but I've never had that ever happen before, and it actually gave me a little bit of an unsettling feeling because the conditions inside are horrible. It's full of mold, it's full of crap and junk and everything else. But we're gonna check it out now. I'm gonna be cautious. I am carrying protection as a worst case scenario. I don't wanna find anyone in there, but if someone's in there, they need help, then obviously we will call authorities. But it was very strange. In all my time coming here in 7 years, that's never happened. So I am intentionally gonna be kind of quiet at first to get up near a window to look in. I don't wanna startle someone, make them think I'm gonna come to do anything to them. So we're gonna go in nice and quietly and then kind of peer in and go from there. Somebody in there? Is anybody inside? I don't know what I would have heard. So from what we could see here, what we've seen last time, got the furnace area, casket lowering device. You can see the front door right there. Jesus, what the hell is that? Okay. Tree rubbing against the building scared me, but that's not what I heard. I heard something from the inside. Let's continue down. There's a piece of plywood here. Now, I was here recently with my friend Lisa, who was visiting from Las Vegas, and she did do an investigation here on her channel. I don't remember seeing that piece of wood like that, and I was only here just a couple weeks ago. Somebody inside? Anyone here? I honestly don't know what I heard. I heard it more than once. It was a human voice moaning in distress coming from inside of here, but it doesn't appear anyone is here. Now, the one thing that we've always made mention of, and there's been a lot of speculation, especially through the comment section of the videos, is the abundance of the cases of this allergy medicine. There's been a lot of speculation that this is used to make meth or some other type of illegal substance. It's just cases upon cases of it stacked up inside here, which we will see from the other side. It's all over the floor too. So I am, excuse me, I am glad that no one is inside of here that I could see or hear, but I honestly don't know what I heard. But it did kind of creep me out a bit. I thought maybe there was a homeless person taking shelter in here. The shed here also does contain various items, including some more, I guess you could say, medicine. which is actually out here already. There's packets of pills. I was showing these to Lisa and her husband when we were here. We don't know what they are. There's no name on them. They almost look like maybe Pepto-Bismol pills. I don't know, but they are all around here. Some on the inside, some on the outside. There's some more cough medicine in here as well. Allergy medicine. Has a musty smell to it. But let's check out the front of the building here. The main entrance is right there. And if you want to see what this place used to look like when it was in better condition, if you go under my Mausoleum playlist, which will be linked down below, my very first episode here covers all the back history. But there's also an episode, I think from 2 years ago, 2022, I believe, where I did show some before and after pictures that were shared with me from a viewer. And you were able to see the front door, and it was actually accessible back then. I think someone's been here since I was here just a couple weeks ago. I'm going to reach you guys inside there so you could kind of get a better view. And all those cases is children's medicine. So you could come up with your own conclusion or speculation or theory as to why they're in here. It doesn't make sense, but that is what we found since day one of documenting this place. Like I said, this is not a place that someone could take shelter in. There's no clear floor without moving all this junk around, and the place is riddled with mold. There's also some office equipment in here as well. So, just wanted to give you an update. Nothing really has changed over here other than just things being moved about. People are coming here to visit it and check it out for themselves, just like I do. So, since we've walked around the entire building, I haven't heard that sound replicated again, other than just the tree rubbing against the building, which made a completely different sound. I don't know what I heard, and I did not state this or put this into the video to hype it up. I have no reason to do that. There's enough people that are interested in watching this video the way it is to see the updates. But 7 years, first time ever, I heard something or someone on the inside. Whether it was a disembodied spirit or something, I truly don't know. I don't know why they would be inside there. But that is going to kind of lead to what we're going to do a little bit later on. Some of you may have an idea, some of you may not. But we're going to go to the exterior now, check both sides of it, and then head on the inside. As I may mention too, that there is some volunteers coming here, helping to maintain the grounds at least. If you were to go back and watch my first 1 or 2 videos here, this was severely overgrown, almost to the point you couldn't even walk through it. And now it is more or less a manicured lawn, although it is due for a cutting, but it is in remarkably better condition than it used to be. And over here there are a few people laid to rest, and people still come here, placing flags, decorations, even decorating for the seasons or holidays. So it's not completely forgotten about. It's good to see that there are some people coming here to spruce it up, make it look presentable. It's more or less the people that are laid to rest here where things are not as good as they could be. So as we come around the side of the building here, this overhang is still in place for the most part. Obviously there's a big chunk missing of concrete. All the rebar is exposed, and you can see the pile of rubble on the ground. And there are a lot of blank ones here, some with flowers, some with names. Some still occupied, some are not. We also learned through the previous years that there is a funeral director who is working with families to relocate their loved ones to a more permanent location. So even though some of them do have names, I believe some of them were removed already. But there's also a lot of them who have no one alive to speak on their behalf to make that decision. So they are still here. I believe I said in my last year's update video, the most practical solution I could come up with for this location is whoever is laid to rest here still, is that they could place them buried out in the lawn here. There's more than enough room. It wouldn't cost much as far as relocation. It's more or less extracting, digging, and burying them. I think it's a more effective solution than having to put them in another mausoleum, transporting them to another county or town. If they did want them to remain here and this building is not going to survive, which I'd be shocked if they were to try to resurrect it or refurbish it, I think the best idea and solution is just to remove the remaining people, bury them in the lawn here, and that way no one else has to worry about what's going to happen with the people that are left in here. But that's just my idea, my theory, but I'm sure there are other ideas out there. But as of the making this video, there is no updates regarding the legal situation of this place. Without going into too much background, basically the people that bought it at a tax auction don't want this property. They forfeited it, abandoned it, so to speak. Township can't do anything really, because whoever does start, whether it's doing some work or claiming ownership, is going to be responsible for the financial aspect of it, which not only is just the building, I'm sure the taxes as well. So legality wise, not much has changed, but it's good to see though that it's not completely forgotten about. There are some good people out there that do come here, help maintain the property, and do what they can to kind of keep it a more somewhat peaceful resting place, even though it looks how it does today. As we come around to the other side, this side is in much worse condition. Most of the overhang is gone, and the rest of it's going to fall over time. It's more piles of rubble out here, and we see a few more openings, the crypts. And as explained to Lisa, basically behind these, which I believe are marble slabs, is a bricked up wall. So behind here is where the coffin would be. So if they want to extract someone out here, they have to remove this, break down that brick facade there, and then they have clearance, which is, I never knew how it worked originally when I started documenting this. I thought, you know, if you just remove these screws, this marble plate or slab comes off and then you have an opening. Obviously it's not like that. That way no one could just come here and do something if they wanted to. It is a bit more secure. I don't know if they still follow that practice today or not with more modern day mausoleums, but that's how it is here at least. I do remember too in my earlier videos that a lot of this pile of debris here, bricks and concrete and rubble, was basically on the ground here. It was a big mess here. You had to kind of walk and climb all over it to make your way through here, but someone did take the effort and time to clean it up and at least move it out of the way to the back part of the building here. So nothing really new to show back here. As we come around to the back of the building, as we can see, there are some tree falls. That white birch tree is laying on the roof, but the roof is already shot, so it doesn't really make much of a difference. There's also some trees laying against the stained glass windows there as well. But I think we should head inside now, because there is a little bit of good news to share with you on the inside. Looking at the outside here, not much has changed. Busted up glass, broken windows, which all happened once they secured those doors back up. When those doors were open, this never happened. And this is basically our access now. And I noticed when I was here with Lisa that this glass is almost like, it's like plexiglass. It's like soft and bendable. So it's not traditional panes of glass per se. It's more softer. It's got some give to it. It's almost like a sticky film holding it together. As we cross in though, you may notice something. I'm just going to give you a glance around briefly before I state the obvious. But the thing that I noticed immediately when I was here with Lisa, and even today, is that someone cleaned it up in here. This is the best I've seen it in quite a while. Pile of rubble is contained to the side. Someone actually swept up in here, placed the broken glass and other items and trash in the corner here. And aside from the natural, I don't know if you want to call it decay or growth from the elements, it is in remarkably good condition in here, comparatively speaking. Even the centerpiece here, they have flowers placed all around it. I'm glad to see this. Someone, whether it was locals or explorers or photographers, came here and made it look a bit more presentable than it has in past years. So I'm really happy to see that. Also, with the broken doors and windows and the broken stained glass, which I still don't understand why anyone would damage that, there is some better ventilation in here, so it's not as hazardous to be inside of here. There is some cross ventilation, some airflow, where prior to that, it was pretty nasty being inside of here, as you could imagine. And over here, just where we saw from the back where the branches are laying right against the window. I do like the pastel colors. It has like an Easter vibe to it. So what did I plan on doing here today? Honestly, it's something I should have done probably a few years ago. Those of you that do know me or have been with my channel for any length of time know that I do have an interest in the paranormal world. I do have a paranormal playlist. I've done several paranormal investigations. But I never did an investigation here. I don't know why. It just never came to mind. But I got the idea to do it today because when I did bring my friends Lisa and her husband David here, she made a video for her channel where she borrowed my K2 and a couple of cat balls and placed them right here in the openings of these crypts. Cat balls are just little plastic balls. They're battery powered, and if you touch it or something touches it, they do light up. It's like a cat toy, but she does use them in her investigations. I didn't bring those, I did bring the K2. And when she was using this, it was actually going off a bit. To me, that's rather intriguing and surprising because number one, this property, specifically this building, has no power going to it. Hasn't had power here for over 10 years. The closest home is to my left, about 50 yards away, far enough away for any interference. The only things here today that would cause this to go off is either my phone or my microphone, which I'm going to demonstrate because I did do some testing at home, seeing what I could do without triggering this prematurely. So solid green light like that means there's nothing setting it off. It's just a baseline. As I move closer to my microphone, it lights up, full blown all the way to red. So my microphone does set this off. What I plan on doing is not a full thermal investigation. I want to do a 5-minute test. And what I'm going to do is a couple things. Number one, the K2 is going to be left in here inside this crypt. I'm going to turn this microphone off. I'm going to actually exit the building. You guys will be in here facing the K2 and also being able to see outside to make sure there's nothing coming in or out causing any interference or contamination. I'm going to be far enough away that if I was even to cough, you won't hear me. The onboard microphones of the camera is going to pick up the audio in here. And during editing, I'm going to boost those levels. So those of you that do have an interest in this, listen with headphones, see if you do hear anything, because when Lisa was here, she was filming with her phone, and upon going through the replay of the video, boosting the audio, we heard some sounds that none of us made or were even nearby to cause that. So I'm going to set this up here. You guys will be positioned over here, and then I'm going to set my phone for a 5-minute timer, and we'll see what happens. I won't know until we watch the playback or until I edit the video, but if you guys do hear anything audio-wise, like an EVP, comment down below with a timestamp. If you don't want to watch this portion of the video, just go to the timestamp on the screen and we'll pick up after this test is done. Okay, my microphone is switched off, so the audio sounds different. The K2 is sitting right there. I do have the camera focused on it, and you can see the windows. I'm going to exit the building. As soon as I exit, I'm going to hit my timer for 5 minutes. But if there is anyone or anything here that would like to communicate, there's a camera rolling. You can try to talk into the microphone, or this device here that does light up can let us know that you're here. If you would like to make contact, all you have to do is try to touch that device and it will light up to different colors. It won't harm you, it won't hurt you, but it will let us know that you're here. So if you'd like to try to touch that device to make the lights go on, or say something into the microphone, you are welcome to do so. I'll leave you in peace, and I'll return in 5 minutes. All right, I returned after 5 minutes. Don't know if we got anything, but I guess I'll find out during editing. I do want to mention though that if that didn't go off at all, if you guys didn't hear or see anything, just a good chance that there is nothing here or that nothing that wanted to communicate with me, although I did witness stuff happening for my friend Lisa, but she's a bit more in tune with the spirits and paranormal world than I am. She can actually pick up their energy where I can't, but who knows? Another thing I wanted to point out too, that I think it was her husband David that pointed it out. I never picked up on this from my 7 visits here, is that primarily most of the people that are laid to rest here, not only is a husband and wife, but they're laid to rest in a certain order, where the wife is on the left, husband on the right. So just to give you a few examples, we do have Mamarella, Jenny, and Jerome. Van Scoy, Elizabeth and Thomas, although I don't think they're laid to rest here. I think they were relocated. Then we do have Giovignoli, Luis, and Americo. A lot of Italian names. Mancini, Frank and Margaret. Alfano, Josephine, and Angela. You get the point. They are laid to rest here in a certain order with the husband on the right and the wife on the left. Oh, there's a bird carcass. I didn't see that before. I will say my 2024 revisit and update was a bit interesting. I'm still trying to wrap my head around what I heard when I first arrived here back in the office building. I just don't get it. I was very confident someone was inside. I distinctly heard human sound. And I don't think I can replicate it, but it just sounded like moaning in distress, like they're in pain. And I was thinking, you know what, maybe they're just hiding. But you know, if someone was to move around in there and hide, we would hear them. There's so much junk on the floor and stuff in there that you can't move in there silently. We would hear them. But I checked all the windows I could. I called out several times. I don't see any signs of someone staying in there. There is no response, no evidence stating that someone's inside. So I don't know what I heard. But really strange occurrence on my 7th visit here. Regarding the paranormal aspect that I did for the 5-minute test, based on the feedback in the video, I may or may not come back to do a more thorough investigation. I don't know if there are spirits here, don't know if they even want to make communication with us. And if you don't believe in that type of thing, that's personally your opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. And I don't try to make anyone believe or disbelieve anything that I believe or disbelieve. It's just my own opinion, but I do have things I have witnessed and experienced that I can't explain that does make me a believer. If I do come back though, it would definitely be in the evening hours when it's starting to get dark. I'd probably spend an hour or 2 here. Wouldn't be a live stream, it would be recorded evidence. But I'd bring all my tools like my thermal imaging camera, my cat balls, my spirit box, everything I have, laser grid, I would bring to do a more thorough investigation. So I don't know if I'll do that, but the answer on that will partly be determined on your feedback in the comment section. With that being said, although there is no new significant updates, I am pleasantly surprised to see that it has been cleaned up a bit. The inside is in the best condition it's been in a long time, and the property is still being maintained by local volunteers. So I'm just really happy to see that. Usually there's nothing good to share when I come here for these updates, but at least this time there's some good news. Anyways, thanks so much for coming along for my 2024 update on the abandoned Good Shepherd Mausoleum. The future can only tell what's going to happen with this place. But while it's still here, I'll be back each and every October to document it. Thanks once again for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.